Okay, class, this is the tutorial for modeling the S60-119. There's a couple ways you can approach this. Some people would extrude a couple cylinders on top of each other and use the chamfer tool. You can also use a revolve as your base model. That's the method I'm going to use, but you don't have to use that method. Okay, so without further ado, we'll move on. Let's go to SolidWorks here. And I'm going to start sketching this cylinder shape. Okay. I'm going to do it in the same orientation as this isometric just for consistency. Okay, so we're going to go and create our new file. Again, you're going to select a part file. And you're going to go sketch. We're going to sketch on our front plane. And we're going to create a center line since we're doing a revolve. Okay, up. And I'm going to select on that center line and I'm going to make it infinite length. Now I'm going to start drawing my shape. So I start at origin so I can anchor it. Go to the left, up, angle, up, back to center line, and then back to origin. I now have the basic shape. Alright, we know that this is a 45-degree angle. So let's go ahead and constrain that at 45 degrees. Okay, so any dimensions we apply on it, at least that dimension's already configured. Alright, let's go back to our drawing. What are we going to do next? So we need diameters and overall height. Let's do the overall height first. That'll get it proportionally. So it is 430 thousandths to 2 decimal points. So we're going to take our dimension tool, we're going to grab our line. Hit OK on the previous dimension. We're going to hit our vertical line. Let's hit escape. Let's try that again. And we get our vertical line, pull over, and it's 0.43. Okay, now in my case, I ended up drawing my part much taller than 0.43, so not a problem. This is still constrained at 45. You might or might not have this happen, but I'm going to drag this 45 down so that it's at the right height. Now when we start applying the other heights on it, it'll correct itself. Okay, so in our diameters. Okay, so let's stick with heights. I'm going to go to the next height. We've got 130 thousandths from the top down to the top of the chamfer. Okay, so we're going to go to dimension. We're going to grab the length we want, and it's 0.13. It's actually pretty close. What is really off right now is our diameters. Okay, we have diameters to put in. Okay, so our first diameter, if we go back to our drawing, is 197 or 194 to 197. Okay, so again, to get that number, we're going to go to our handy calculator, and we're going to put in 0.197, and we're going to subtract 0.194, and that's going to give us plus or minus, or the center of our tolerance is 3 thousandths. We're going to divide that by 2. So we have a 1.5 thou difference between the bottom and the top of this tolerance. We're going to add it to the bottom of the tolerance, which is 0.194, and it gives us this number, 0.1955, or 195 thousandths 5/10. We're going to copy that number. We're going to go back to SolidWorks. We're going to go and do a dimension from center line, not from the line, from center line to the outside diameter, and when we drag it to the right of the center line, we should get a diameter, and we can paste that number in there. Now, this might shrink a lot, so let's hit OK. Okay, and now we're going to do our other diameter. It's going to be the small one to the center line. drag to the right. It's 0.157. Hit enter, and we want to make sure we go to 3 decimal points in there. Now your drawing references a distance from this point to this point is 20 thousandths. It's within the tolerance stack. This tighter tolerance is more important. So you might get a conflict if you try to dimension both. So the drawing really should have the 20 thousandths as a reference and just put the angle on there. All right, we're going to exit this sketch, and then we're going to go to features, and we're going to do a revolve base. There's our primary feature that we're starting with, and we hit OK. And again, I don't care how you derive at this. If you want to extrude a cylinder, do a taper, then extrude another cylinder, as long as the end result's the same. Okay, now let's look at our drawing. We have a hole and a notch to put in. Let's put in the notch first. So if we look at the dimensions for the notch, it is got a center line, so you don't want to imply it's on center line unless it's called out that way. So it's 35 thousandths, and then it's the median of the tolerance should be also 35,000, or it should be 70 thousandths in between here and here. So let's go draw our slot. There's a couple ways you can approach this. You can either draw the slot on the top and cut down to the cylinder, or you can cut it in the side view and cut it in both directions. I'm going to draw it from the top. We're going to go to sketch. We're going to pick on the sketch tool. We're going to pick on the top of the model is what we're drawing on. Now we're going to draw a line. Okay, and then we're going to hit escape, and then we're going to draw another line parallel to that. If you get the relationship right, the horizontal should already be there. And then we're going to do what's called a convert entities. And this allows us to pick on an edge of the part and project it on the plane we're working on. So I've now got the edge projected on the plane I'm working on. Now we can go to trim entities, and we're going to use the power trim. You pick in space, you hold the button down, you click and hold, and then you drag this theoretical line across the stuff you want to go away. Boom. Okay. I'm left with 2 lines terminate with arcs on the ends. Okay. Now we need to dimension this. So from center line, from origin to this line, we had 0.035, 35 thou. Okay, and we want to bump that up to 3 decimals so it doesn't round up to 4. And then our width of the slot is double that. Okay, so 0.07. And we're going to go to 3 decimal points on that as well. And we're going to put in a limit dimension. And our limit was it's 73 to 68. So it looks like it's plus or minus 3 thou. Or 2.5 thou, actually. It's rounding. Okay, so 0.0025. 0.0025, and it's automatically go to 4 decimals when you do that. You're going to go back to 3, and you should get the range that was on there. We'll center that dimension. Hit OK. Everything should be constrained in this sketch now because these lines are automatically aligned to what they were projected from. So now we're going to go to features, and we're going to do an extruded cut. We're going to go blind, and our height according to our drawing was 130 thousandths. Okay, that gives us our slot where we want it. Okay, next we're going to make the hole. This one's going to be done a little different. We're going to do a sketch. Okay, and if we built our model on centerline, I'm going to actually sketch on the front plane, which is right in the middle of our part. And then we're going to place a circle. And we're going to pick the center of that circle, hold the shift key down and pick origin, and we want it vertically aligned with origin. Okay. Now we need a dimension for the diameter and from where its location and z height is. So if we look at our drawing, it is 59 thousandths from the top. So pick the top of the model, pick the center of your circle, drag to the right, 0.059, hit OK, change the 3 place decimals, center your dimension. Okay, we've got that controlled. Now we just need a diameter. Our diameter was a 59 to 61 through, so our nominal is 60. We're going to do a dimension from circle, call it 60. We're going to go to 3 place decimals. We're going to do a limit tolerance, and it's plus or minus 1. Oh, or 0.001. Okay, so I'm going to rotate so you can see what we're doing. We're drawing on a theoretical plane in the center of the part. Okay, we were looking straight in on it. Now we can go to features and we do an extruded cut. And it's going to default to doing blind in one direction. What we want to do is go through all both, and it'll do it in both directions to infinity and beyond. And there we go. We have our holes in our part. Alright, that concludes making this part using 3 features, a revolve and 2 cuts. Don't forget to change your material to brass. Don't forget to go to your options and fill out all your information here. Also, before you turn it in, check that all your sketches are constrained. If they're not, they'll have a little negative symbol here next to it, and there's something wrong. You want to get full credit, that's all got to be correct. Alright, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you on the next one.